Hello everyone, welcome to the Pulsar X Waimers Showdown. I'm Zach, joined by Kayvan today, and we are going to be playing into our first semifinal of this tournament. It promises to be a very exciting game. We have Team Asterisk going up against Team EXO, and Kayvan, what do you think about this matchup so far? I know you were doing some research and stuff.
Yeah, thanks for that intro there, Zach. So, look, obviously, both of these teams have a pretty good record, right? Being a single elim, they're both undefeated. They're going to come into this semifinal looking extremely confident and strong. But I've got to say, I'll tell you what, Asterisk, they look pretty damn deadly at the moment. Both these teams, it has to be said, for their first round, they actually had a forfeit win, both sides. So they have managed to avoid that first round, but they've coming in towards the rest of these games. Asterisk has been popping off. I mean, they've had 13-2 victories already in this tournament so far. So they are just blowing opponents out of the water at the moment. They are looking really, really good. And I mean, it's got to be said that they're probably going to be feeling very confident. On the other side of things, however, Team EXO, as you mentioned, they've also, come through undefeated. They've had a little bit more of a contest in those games where it has been sort of a 13-10, I believe, was their closest game. So, I mean, it could be argued that when it comes down to those pressure moments, when it comes down to, just down to the wire and performing in the moment, they have the experience there. And in a final, it's all about that experience. So, I mean, look, it could go either way. But yeah, Asterix, just in terms of their pure form, are looking insane.
100%. I mean, I'm glad that you brought up those stats. But before we head into the matchup itself and maybe a possible map veto, we do have some announcements to make. Firstly, there is a giveaway going on for people who are watching. You can just join it by scanning a QR code, and as for items that are up for grabs, you've got a gaming mouse, you've got like an arm sleeve, if you don't want those nasty marks or whatever. And of course, you've got the mouse pad as well, which is a medium speed one, I believe. So you'll have a fair bit of control and speed both. Apart from that, for the tournament, this is also being sponsored by Pulsar here, with them giving away some equipment with the prize pool. So it's going to be about 2 lakhs worth of Pulsar gear. And it is going to be the winners and the runner-ups both receiving some gear. For the winners, it's going to be a full set of a mouse pad, and the XM S01 keyboard. I believe for the runner-up, it's just going to be the mouse, the mini clear black. And for the MVP, it is going to be the player with the highest rating from the quarterfinals onwards. It is going to be a keyboard, the MK2HE801, I believe. So yeah, a lot of gear up for grabs for both viewers and for the players. So it's a nice little bag, I would say.
Yeah, 100%. It's always good to have those giveaways for the viewers. And look, obviously, now we know what the viewers are playing for. Let's look at what the players are playing on. The map vetoes are coming through here. And it is going to be Corrode first up, our newest map in the pool. Obviously, it's been around for a while now. But being first up picked here, it's a very, very confident move here by EXO, who did have a victory already on this map.
100%. And I mean, for the second map as well, it does make sense that Abyss has been chosen here. I think that it makes a lot of sense considering that Asterisk have played it before, but it's a map that both of these teams have a record on, right? Like you brought up before. So I think that it's definitely going to be a pretty challenging game coming in. And the decider, of course, going to be Haven, but let's go to Corrode right now. I do believe we have our Asian picks coming up pretty soon. So let's see what these teams have opted for. As Asterisk, they're actually going to be showcasing the double controller and device. In fact, that's going to be the case for their opponents as well, except they're not going to have the additional defensive utility of a Viper. What do you think about these comps so far, especially EXO's double duelist?
Yeah, look, the double duelist is always really, really interesting, especially when you are playing, on a map like Corrode, where it is really, it's really tight areas, right? You're going to be diving in towards backside. Obviously, the Waylay being able to just dash straight in, get the information and recall allows the Neon to play off it. Combine that with the Fade Real and the fast lane. I see a lot of utility combinations with EXO. And for Asterisk, I mean, it is going to be a slower play, right? The double smokes are going to come out. The Viper is going to be essential for the mid control of the map, especially. So we're going to see two very different playstyles clash, and it's going to be a matter of who wins those key rounds to see what strategy is going to come out on top.
100%. I think that the points that you highlighted about the differences in playstyle of these two comps is going to matter. I think in particular how much damage the Viper is going to be able to do, not just on the defensive side with the capabilities you mentioned, but also, as that lurk agent, that second layer of control that can really make executes pain. So that's going to be very interesting to see how much that Viper is going to make a difference when you head into the map itself. That said, I mean, can you tell us a little bit about these teams' previous records on this map so far in this tournament?
Yeah, so Asterisk, they have not played this map, but Team EXO, they have played it twice, and they have won twice. I'm going to say pretty convincingly. I mean, there is no real reason to suggest that, you know, they've struggled on this map too much. They did have a 13-3 absolute demolition job. And then on their other map of a 13-10 victory, they were kind of in control of the match the whole time. Like, they were never trailing in that game at all, so they always had some sort of a lead. It was just a bit of a back and forth here, so... I mean, look, they've got the reps in on this map. They've got the win record to back it up. And yeah, they're going to be feeling confident on their map pick, which, I mean, if we're being realistic, in a best of one, you are going to back yourself to win on your map pick. So it's very, very interesting to see here what the teams are going to play, you know, and how they're going to play, how they're going to approach this map. Because like I said, even though, you know, it has been out for a few months, Corrode is still one of those maps where I think a lot of teams are still trying to work out those timings. So we'll see whether or not the practice has paid off here in this semifinal.
100%. And I mean, it's surprising in a way that this was let through in the map veto as well. Seeing that it's a map that EXO have so clearly, like you said, has such a clear record on, so as to speak. But either way, we're going to be heading into the map right now here. And in particular, I really like the Neon Wele pick. I feel like with the recent patch kind of nerfing the Hyoru, Neon does tend to be a bit more of a dynamic agent, especially around these choke points where the utility can just come in so clutch. But right now it's Asterisk, early info button from the noise here. And already they want to go for a fast execute off the back of the fast lane, checks the corner. Power going to be the one to find that first opening kill. And yeah, the rest of Asterisk, they're trying to hold down the backside. Still there towards CT. Actually manages to get a second before Hellboy finds that return damage, and now they have to take the site control by itself.
Yeah, interesting play here. Big push in towards defender spawn. It hasn't quite paid off, and it looks like they've just taken a little bit too much time here, as we will see Asterisk having great trades, leaving it down to a 2v1. The clutch here. There's a chance here to isolate. Oh, this is a big duel to win, but can't get it done against the Neon. The slide comes out. That is a 1-0 start there. And yeah, the attackers, they took the site clean. I understand wanting to go for the extra space towards defender spawn, but they just took a little bit too much time to clear it and then get back. Yeah, they didn't go
for any of that backside control either, so Asterisk were just able to re-clear the space that Neon initially took, and yeah, they were just crunched between CT. Sure, they got a little bit of space towards Heaven and everything, but they didn't have site control itself, so at no point could they get the spike down. And yeah, after that, the clock just ran its course too. So nice round there for Asterisk. EXO though, gonna be left a little bit behind right now. Buying really, trying to work that mid presence and stop. It's not really connecting. Look at this. Entire once again taking that early lane control, but this time once again it's gonna be the Viper to win out the fight.
Yeah, again, just that fast play with the Neon, which we did expect, right? With this double duelist trying to get up in the face, especially on these eco rounds. We'll see whether or not they're able to pull off a thrifty. At the moment, it's not the best start in a 4v5, but they have the mid space here, and they're trying to bait out some sort of a peak. Good discipline from the defense, though. I've got to say, Team EXO just playing back, playing with the space that they still are in control of here, and they will end up doubling up here with the Spectres in hand. You can assume this fight will go their way, and it will.
Spike down,
this should be a round secured.
100%. The spike dropped as well. Just 2 players remaining. They have a little bit of time to work with 45 seconds of the clock. Sheriff's in hand. Savage, Yoda, and Spawn does hear the Neon, but will they be able to connect the kill is the question. I don't know.
Last player standing.
Spot's coming through. It seems like it was as Yesh finds that kill. Just because one player left right now. The Outlaw in hand is going to connect him. A double for the Neon at the end of the round. A flawless boot. It's going to be keeping all of their guns heading into this.
Kill them before they kill us.
Yep, the Outlaw, such a devastating weapon on the anti-ecos as well. It just basically is a pocket operator. Able to pick up plenty of frags early, and getting them on the Neon as well is super valuable, I gotta say, especially when you are, you know, in those clutch rounds on a map like the road where it's those tight corners, it's those tight corridors. That ultimate, as we know, is just so dangerous.
Move!
So yeah, it's a really, really good start here for the defense. Asterisk doing what they do best on the defense and getting an early advantage with that pistol round win. However, there is more pressure coming in towards this B side.
through and gets a frag here. Immediately slows down EXO's attack once again. We talked about how EXO have more reps on this map, but it seems like Asterisk, they've done their research. They know how to stop them in their tracks, and EXO kind of forced to reevaluate tactics here. Go back towards the mid of the map. It's a very big rotation coming in from Asterisk, knowing that they do have that economic capability, but look at this, Yash. With the early angle, actually gets the 140, and having done the damage, now forced to fall back. That's a lot of space that EXO are forced to re-clear now.
There.
Yeah, it's very, very deep line here, held by the defense still, and this is their bonus round. Remember, as we get to see a second frag go in the way of the Vice here. Param just having an excellent start to this match already on the Vice, holding down the site. Yes, not gonna quite hit the shots with that outlaw, but now they have the numbers, they have the read, and this is a very nicely played defense, absolutely securing this third round. You would think, yeah, it's a little bit messy, but in the end, it's a 3-0 start. And I mean, this is exactly what we spoke about in the Agent Select, right? The different tempos clashing with each other, the fast plays with this double dive against a more methodical composition with the Viper, with the Vise, being able to dictate the duel. Sounds like the Viper defense fully using their utility to their advantage.
Also, just the Guardian finding those 2 crucial kills in the opening of the map. Making it a 3v5, keeping that pressure up and that deep control that Yash was able to take with the Outlaw, doing so much damage. Yeah, just a very successful bonus round. Now once again, Outlaw in place this time. Pushed off the angle at the very least, thanks to that stun and that tower. For every inch of space that he garnered, here comes the Neon ult as well, but it's the Odin to find that first kill. 3 is got found already by the Fade. Tries to go forward before finally being shut down, but that's a 3-for-1. Very expensive already so far. And just 2 players left.
Last player standing.
Make that one.
Spike down A.
There's Outlaw and Odin continuing to farm the frags, but Alpha Warrior is going to at least respond with a nice headshot. I think that rifle is going to be retrievable and won't matter in the end. 4-0. So the first assignment for the defense on this A site is passed as well with flying colors. Asterisk at the moment are just completely in control of this match. They just are setting the tone here, using their weapon advantages when they, you know, obviously had them online. But it's the util as well, just getting all those reveals, allowing them to just isolate this Neon that's going in kind of on their own at the moment. It's been a little bit disconnected here from Team XO, I gotta say.
Yeah, I feel like especially now that this Odin is in play, it's going to make it very difficult to get through. I'm looking forward to getting some additional help coming in the corner to dodge the stun. Let's Vice hold down this deep angle here. The Odin as well constantly chunking down mid. There's going to be a player close to him. Willow actually takes the timing here, gets that first opening kill. No trade to come through either, as the counter spam just denies the peek at all. And once again, an unpunished opening kill to come through. However, there goes the Viper. Savage here though, finding that crucial trade and creating possibly a little bit of pressure on this side. Still holding down the lane, knows exactly where the Vice is now, as it seems like it's going to be a rotation towards this B side instead, but Risen has to.
Yeah, it looks like they are going to go in towards A, as you say, but we're just a little bit hesitant on that entry. It's allowed the rotate to come through here, so we do have Team XO attempting to try and stay alive. The flame is beautiful from the Neon as well. The paranoia stalls out. They manage to pinch the attack and stop them in their tracks with 30 seconds left. It looks like it's a little bit of a stalemate here in the 3v3.
Problem is the clock.
30 seconds
they have
left
to go forward, and already the rotation it's come through here from the side of the defense. No smokes for Risen. Has to be the question of timing. He will find it first. And it's actually the counter ult to come through, but Hellboy takes the opening kill. Ryzen goes down. And now the Odin spam.
Spike
Not
planted.
able to connect with the safe plants to come through in the corner. Knows where the first player is towards elbow. Carmo finds one as well, making it a 2-2.
One enemy remaining.
There is, however, that Waylay ult available. And now here comes the possible Steel Garden. Hellboy has to fight
one enemy remaining.
Those players will get that kill. The 1v1. And here comes the Waylay ult. Is it going to be enough? Is the question. Does buy a little bit of time, at least if nothing else, but 17 HP the Odin. Going to be enough to chunk through. Just has to be able to find the timing for the defuse. Oh no,
wow.
Yeah, just no HP to play with. That's painful.
Yeah, very, very unlucky. A good attempt there in the end in the 1v2, but as you say, the luck just not going their way to start things off. 5-0 the score, and this is looking a little bit like a runaway at the moment. It was really, really interesting there, and probably just a little missed opportunity by the attackers, I want to say. When they did get that pick over towards the Viper on that B site, immediately that means the Toxin Wall in towards mid is not going to be available. You could see Yesh immediately backed up on the Neon as soon as the Viper went down. Had to get out of there before the Dark Shadow of Ryzen obviously fell away, and they didn't exploit that mid space. They just went straight in towards A, and unfortunately that information was given essentially the free for the defense. They didn't have to adjust too much. We're going to see now a bit of a mid crunch over towards a link here, and the attackers are going very aggressive, trying to get in. It looks like it's really working out for them at least initially, but the Odin's too strong.
Low sense Odin. That's the new meta. And really nice turnaround there in mid. Just stops them in their tracks. It's just going to be one player left alive. Sheriff in hand, trying to find some damage. I don't know if Hellboy is going to expect this corner peak though.
Wow.
Yep, not going to be the case. And Lilboy actually able to find that final kill. A 6-0 start. Such extreme counter shotting, I would say, coming from this Asterisk side.
100% there. They know the crunch is on there, and they make the very, very aggressive decision and the brave decision to go forward to fight towards that main, and that is the space they are able to hold on to. We can see crucial frags with that Odin to keep the round alive. It is now 6-0. Team XO, they're looking like, you know, there's a little bit more life in that round, I want to say, right? It's looking a bit more competitive, but they need a win.
Everybody to do it with right now, but already the Odin is shipping one by one. It's going to be one trade, but again, just this aggressive mid presence. Spam doing so much and leaving it in a 2v4 after that confrontation in mid. Both these players having to regroup. At least they have control of the spike here, but there is still the off angle being held by Caramel. Has the ult as well to play with if necessary here. But yeah, off the back of the peak, it's actually Savage Yoda to find that kill. That opens up the site for business. Corner being held right now. Spike in possession. Both players with ultimates available. And they're very powerful ultimates as well.
100% here. Nightfall and Steel Garden. I'd say Steel Garden probably
One enemy
here.
remaining.
Obviously, with such a small
no.
site,
Spike
the
down
Odin
B.
just doesn't miss. Oh my goodness, the wallbangs coming through to deny the plan. I mean, hey, who needs to worry about an ultimate when you just shoot through a wall, right? That is devastating here, as we have just seen. I mean, this is pulling with the Odin at this point.
Definitely the work has been put in by the player to really know the exact spots for those wall bangs. And 13-3. Yep, the power of the Odin really being showcased in this matchup. Once again, economy broken here for Team EXO. They do have 4 ults available, so perhaps combination of the Steel Garden and that overdrive for the Neon could be the opening that they can take. However, Square's defense has been very oppressive coming into last year, and oh my god, the collateral from the Outlaw. Not what you want to see. I know it's an eco round, but still, just like shredding through these players. One player alone in the open, at least it gives the Sheriff to find an opening kill, but once again, 2v4 so early in the half here. No guns retrievable either. That's painful.
I mean, you see this so many times in competitions, in finals, especially where it's just these little moments.
Spike
Anything that
down
can
A.
go wrong seems to go wrong, as it is a 4v1 scenario here, and no chances being taken by the defense either. Investing the paranoia there just to secure an easier frag, and that is 8 on the board here. I love the way Asterisk are playing this map because, I mean, they are just using their utility, right? Obviously, they know it's going to be a quick attack coming through the double duelist. They know Waylay Neon is going to be quick. It is all about taking space as quickly as possible. So they are investing heavily in their util early on in these rounds, and it is working out. Combine that with the Odin, and it is just absolutely perfect defense being played.
Especially the damage, just you brought up the Odin. It's so consistently finding these opening kills, and there's just no chance for EXO to even fight back. Hopefully, though, this time they've got a little bit of economy left. They have those ultimates in play. They could try to take some space off the back of it. So far, it seems, despite having that double duelist, they've been playing very reactively, and it's kind of causing them to suffer. They haven't really had a chance to shine through. And like you said, these rounds have been pretty dominant from Asterisk. Like most of them, they've had at least 3 people left alive, so it's just been very difficult for EXO to find any steam at all.
I wouldn't mind just seeing them using this waylay a little bit more for the entry. I know the Neon is obviously the quicker agent, able to run around, be a little bit quicker. I wouldn't mind seeing Hellboy just diving in, trying to bait out some util, recalling out, and then allowing the rest of the attack to flood through without the reveals, without the paranoias coming through. It feels like with the Neon at the moment, it's just being countered a little bit too easily for me.
Let's see if that timeout, that was the tactic that they did discuss. Once again, it seems like they want to go for a little bit more of a slower play.
Screen down.
Saving the util this time. Not using it so aggressively, but here goes Hellboy. We talked about it. Going for that crucial opening space here. Actually able to create a crossfire setup, and Yash coming punched here for the aggression. Along with the paranoia. It's going to be a nightfall shooting for the nightfall towards mid. Trying to anchor down the site here. But here comes Power. That's the 1-2 side crunch here. Sure, it's a 1-for-1 trade. And at the end of it, EXO are finally left with the numbers advantage.
It's a crucial pick, at least with the Odin, just to make a 2v3 scenario. It is winnable, especially with a Steel Garden online. But is Sangram going to be clear? This is the big question, and it's only a half clear. This could be the first round here. Team EXO 3v1. It's going to be a trade in the end. The 3k from Power on the Neon gets EXO there first.
100%, yeah. There was a lot of ultimates invested as well, especially that it really was able to cause the 1-2 crunch here as possible. That's for the opening kill on the side for the Neon here. The tank potential, I would say. But yeah, overall, the numbers advantage finally paying off here, and more importantly, a couple of guns left, so there's going to be enough money in the tank for another full buy pretty much. Still got the Steel Garden for this round too, so a lot in the pocket here for EXO.
13-0, Dream is dead, but this game is still very, very firmly in their control. 8-1 currently is the score. The attackers taking this space in towards a lobby. They're actually going to take Elbow as well, and I like this. The Neon and the Waylay timing their push together. Able to execute in towards the day side, and Power tries to open things up, but it's going to be a trade in the end.
Crucial kill from Hellboy though. That's going to give, once again, the numbers to EXO here and give them the post-plant setup as well.
Spike planted.
3 ults remaining, including that crucial Steel Garden. To put a stop to this Odin.
Bring them down.
Formation Garden. Here comes the Steel Garden. The first person to use it, it's going to be the advantage for them. Here comes the Waylay also. That is going to definitely cause a major slowdown here. And denies Steel Garden finally its usage. However, it's not going through. It is going to be the second Steel Garden toss. However, in defense, still a 3v3, but the clock is ticking. They have to make their way onto site and do it soon. Right now, everybody playing in the corner in the close plan. Someone goes down though. That's the first one.
Last player
All they have to do is fight. A 1v3.
One enemy remaining.
That's second. And Candlelaps come through. Nope. I think there's time though, and that's going to be the second round here.
Clutch.
That's a huge clutch to come through here. Alpha Warrior not giving up in the tough times. And that's back-to-back rounds for Team EXO. It now takes us to an 8-2 scoreline. And those massive ultimates, you said, had to be invested. Well, it ends up going the way of the attackers here. And it looks like they've found just a little bit of rhythm. But like I was saying at the start of that round, if you noticed how Elbow got taken there, the Waylay came over the top, the Neon slid through at the exact same time, and that is exactly the type of synergy I said was missing at the start. So it's good to see Team EXO after this timeout definitely have found their rhythm.
I'm not afraid to go for the really top position as well. This time around, it's a one-sense I'm actually going to be the one to find that first one. Here comes the catch out this player. Early second layer open to Garner, thanks to the Waylay going in, and now that they have the first pick, EXO can play a little bit more patiently. They've taken some chip damage, sure, but they still have that control of A main and now looking for something else on the other side of the map, but the economy isn't the greatest, that's the issue. Only a pistol there for the Waylay.
I love this call though. I love this call to go back towards mid here and try to at least explore it somewhat. I wouldn't mind if they actually were a little bit quicker on that rotate, just to force out another one of those dark covers here, as we are going to see it being invested towards B main yet again. But unfortunately now, if they do go towards mid, there is going to be that toxic screen available. The fuel will be back online as they are just waiting for a bit of aggression there. Ryzen with that operator shot gonna miss, but not punished for it just yet. At least now they know Team EXO are completely bunkered in here towards the main.
Problem is the clock here,
30 seconds left. Bring them
and they
down.
have to get onto site. Early Crowder out the hill, comes inside the site, but this time doesn't check the corner, and Lil Boy there for the immediate punish. Here comes the Odin as well.
Spike
Too
down,
much to
B.
get through here.
One enemy
Both
remaining.
players, they just make it impossible. 9-2, and beautiful counter defense round coming in from Asterisk.
Last round in the half.
Yeah, Lil Boy on the Viper, playing that pseudo Senti role perfectly as well. A big 4K to come through on the Viper in round number 11, making it a 9-2 scoreline at the moment. Will it be the infamous 9-3 curse, or are we going to see double figures early on? It's all going to be decided in this round, but yeah, I would have just liked from Team EXO there a little bit quicker decision making. I think that if they really did abuse the fact that all that Viper fuel was used early and took their, attention towards the middle of the map in that round, they definitely could have found some success. But obviously, having the mini-map and all the information is certainly an advantage that we have as casters, not them as players. So it is hard in the moment, as it looks like we are going to see another A crunch come out.
There.
Yeah, and also invested as well. I don't know if the Seeds actually caught them. Doesn't seem to be the case. And between the Odin and the AWP, it's going to be very difficult for them to stop it. Saturate actually connects, and the Soda Prepare right that first kill. Gosh, making it a 1-for-1 trade with the AWP, it's still in play in the hands of Risen. That's going to make it very difficult for them to lean into the angle. Risen, though, going for that space incrementally, trying to get there inch by inch. And all three players still playing from outside here as a retake attempt tries to come through. I don't know if Risen actually spotted out the operator right now. They're forced to go in for that heavy UP clear. Now they know where all three players are, I believe. And here comes a counter smoke available. They tap the fight. Savage was able to get that first kill, but Caramel crunching in right now. 2-1 situation.
One enemy remaining.
Here comes
Last
the wraparound.
player standing.
Still with the all able to get one, but the clock is ticking right now. I don't think he's going to be able to get that diffuse through, unless, of course, Caramel just makes it through, but he's running for his life, and he's managed to buy enough time here for a third round for EXO.
Oh my goodness, plays the clock to perfection, and that's an excellent attempt at the clutch there in the heat of the moment, but it will be a 9-3 scoreline here. And what a turnaround from that timeout, right? That's a 3-1 scoreline since the timeout. Definitely whatever was discussed has absolutely helped this team be successful. As we can see, the Shadow Steps just played absolutely perfectly here. But I'll tell you what, Asterisk, they cannot be disappointed in themselves whatsoever, right? A 9-3 scoreline on map 1 on your opponent's map pick is a perfect start right here in the semi-final.
100%. And yeah, just being able to get that lead makes it definitely a plus point in their favor. If they can continue by winning this pistol, it's going to give them the momentum that they need. However, what would you say about their attacking side and defensive side comparison? Which one do you think is better for them usually? When it comes to EXO?
For Team Asterisk, they played more halves off of EXO, sorry?
Yeah.
It's kind of even, to be honest with you, for both of them. They've kind of had a pretty even scoreline. They've been dominant on both, but this semi-final hasn't been the most convincing just yet, as we are going to see a swing come through here, and the B crunch well and truly being on Team EXO. They are looking like they are going to crumble to another pistol round loss here, unless they can turn this around. 3v5, certainly not unwinnable by any standard, by any stretch of the imagination, but the numbers down here, they need a few clean picks, and Lil Boy has found the flank already. And are they even expecting Karam? No chance. You will be 2v5 now, and this is looking very dire.
Last player standing.
First kill coming through, but just too many angles to watch out for. No way possible. A 10th round on the board for Asterisk. They get to double digits first here. And like you said, the chances of a comeback looking increasingly slim on their map pick. EXO just completely countered in every way. It seems like constantly map control being tested, peak and hold coming out of that lurking Viper.
Yep. Absolutely. I mean, look, it's a similar story to what we saw on the attack, right? They know that there is going to be aggression from Team EXO. They're playing double duelists. They want to try to get in your face and get that early information by the power of their own bullets. And it looks like for now, Asterisk, they are playing risk-free, if you will, as they are just holding back, expecting this aggression. The paranoia comes through. It's a 1-for-1 trade here in towards A main. Not ideal here for the attackers, but they do at least secure the space.
Oh, there's that opening kill though. Vandal really coming in huge here. And yeah, Sangrum forced to fall back.
I'm out of here.
Try and wait for the rest of his team as Yash takes that space again. Elbow gonna be crunched in on. Neon movement just making it increasingly difficult to hit something. There is gonna be the
Spike
Reaper coming in
planted.
and this, dark cover actually letting come through. Timing on the peak, not quite perfect. And it's the Bulldogs come and bar through here. Once again, a 4v2 advantage here for Asterisk. They know where at least one of these players are. I don't know if they expect a second too. And yeah, I think
One
enemy
enemy
remaining
remaining.
fight. But yeah, the spam just comes through. That's painful.
Yeah, I mean, look, the only silver lining I've got here for Team XO is that they didn't fully invest, right? They will have a little bit of cash left over. They may be able to force a few rifles to at least contest the next round, but unfortunately, after that opening pick, that trade 1-for-1, nothing else went their way, and it is showing here on the scoreboard 11-3. This is a very, very dominant start to this semi-final.
Just 2 rounds and taking away their opponent's map pick. Asterisk looking really, really good. It's to be said for sure. And now this bonus buy. I don't know if XR are going to have the money to get full shields and the like. It might just be the Outlaw coming through and possibly doing a lot of damage. You do, like you meant, they do have a buy here. Couple of Phantoms, Vandals, but 3 of their players are going to be victim to 2 taps from the Guardian of the Body or even a headshot from the Bulldog combined with like some shift damage.
Absolutely here, but another interesting thing to point out is Team XO versus Cold Corner. I don't believe they've ever been trailing at any stage in any match, and it seems like as soon as the pace is against them, they just haven't been able to keep up, as we are going to see another first blood go the way of the attack. Make it 2, as it now is 3v5. This is an absolute disaster here on the anti-bonus of the defense. They just cannot find a trade. There is no response whatsoever.
Spike planted.
Kills, just spam kills too, and now a 3v5 retake again, like you mentioned. That numbers disadvantage to come through. Savage Yoda does have a little bit of a creep angle, but so disciplined are the players of Asterisk. Caramel on the late lurk actually takes down Alpha Warrior to boot, so yeah, just the impossible right now. So much utility, so much spam to come through here, and the dark cover to make things worse. Yeah, and this 2v5 might be better to just try and save, and that seems to be the call from Hellboy at the very least. Trying their best to do a little bit of damage. No force left right now. Does manage to get 2 kills, but it's match point here for Asterisk.
Yeah, there would have had to be an absolute catastrophe for that post plant to go any other way there, as it is now match point, as we heard in game 12 to 3 now, and there's just been a couple nice frags here and there. Team XO, they haven't been able to string them together in a round though, and it is really showing, especially in that last bit of the replay, right? 4 players all hovering the one angle, ready to trade. Asterisk as a team and a unit. They've just been able to win out these fights constantly in map 1.
Nothing really going the way of XO.
I'm out of here.
For the opening kill. Asterisk have just been also consistently going for this mid control and dominating in those fights, denying the value from that double duelist really to come through. There's a counter shredding, I would say. And now, once again, it's the little boy on the lurk. This time around, the power finds that opening kill, so that's map control confirmed here by Asterisk, and a gun retrieve. Oh no.
Yeah, 100%. That is one of the teleports of all time, for being honest. Right? Maybe a little bit overconfident there, trying to get in early over towards that B side. Found out in the end and punished here. Team XO. 4v1 scenario here. Maybe it could be a big clutch to come through, but surely you would think this game goes for one more round. We'll see what Cambodian's got here. Captain Spike trying to walk forward, play aggressive, wins another fight. 1v2 on 10 HP. This is a very scary scenario if you're a Team XO fan.
Oh yeah, it's very much winnable right now, especially with the reposition, but they're playing it patiently. Almost gets a peek there. Doesn't have a full kit of util, but now they know where this player's gonna come through. Doesn't have a chance with the reposition either. Just gonna take 1 bullet. Is able to isolate the fight, but doesn't get the 1 tap, and it is a double beat that comes through in the end, keeping XO alive here as Hellboy finds the defuse. Actually, the Capacitor was Alpha Warriors, so getting closer to into that nice ult for the retake. Finally, though, it's a retake that's successful off that initial pick coming through.
100%. They're a little bit of life in the match here on defense. Team XO, they get their 4th, but it's just round by round here. I mean, you're barely even looking at the scoreboard anymore. The only thing that really matters, I suppose, is, you know, discussing your economy here, which we can see in this buy. It's a couple Guardians, it's 3 rifles, which, you know, it is obviously still able to compete, still able to match up against the 5 rifles on the other side, but it's certainly that half armor that is going to be a bit of a concerning weakness here for this defense, as we will see them contest towards this A main space yet again. Presence is made as well to break that scan, the clear here, and it does force a lot of aggression out here from the defense, as we do know they want to fight for this space.
Little boy forced to fall back here. Still holding on to spawn though, so they know that they haven't pushed too far
Face
through.
your fear!
In the meantime, the thermal with the lurk all the way through, actually able to find that opening kill on to this A site here, as the rest of Asterisk flood in off the back of that. We still have a player towards 7, but they're completely smoked off. No spam either being done, and no overextension of now. So again, finally goes down. That's the knife to give it away, but the counter trade comes through. Fade util as well, just slowing down this Leon. Almost running out here. Halfway able to find one though in the corner. And the ultimate almost
One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining.
And it is going to come down to a 1v1 as Lil Boy,
1v1.
yeah, the player who has been implemented so far now towards main, does a lot of chip damage to boot. Just no way to be able to find that defuse. So the deck and yeah, able to clutch it out here. Lil Boy with the 1v2 to close out the map. 13-4. That's for the way their opponents mapped it.
That is an absolute clinic here on map 1, it's got to be said. Team XO, a couple of moments of brilliance here and there, but it was the Asterisk show. They just did not give up any sort of advantage. There was very minimal mistakes being made the entire game, and that is a very, very clear, very clean map of being played here by the team whose map pick it wasn't. I mean, this is obviously the map pick of Team XO, and Asterisk now head into their own map with a 1-0 advantage in the semi-final. Their confidence is going to be through the roof.
Yeah, it's definitely going to feel good for the side of Team Asterisk. Not if you're an XO fan, though, but I think for all Asterisk fans, that was a very clinically well-played map. I mean, you could see it in the beginning when they were the ones to go through on attack, but I think on defense, sorry, but I think it was their attacker side that really shone through. They only lost 1 round, I think, on that whole attacking side, so it's pretty dominant response coming in off the back of, I think it was like a 7-0 or 8-0 start here for them. So yeah, really well played, I would say, by the side of Team Asterisk. And I mean, for EXO, it just seemed like they were constantly starting off at a disadvantage. There were so many of these rounds that were like a 3v5 or like a 4v5 in like the first 10 seconds, and they just never really were able to come back from it.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, look, to be fair, I think it's pretty obvious why we were seeing the scorelines that Asterisk were putting up, right? I mean, when they just get in winning positions, they're so clinical and they're so hard to break apart there. So map 1, they are definitely here to play, here to win. And it was interesting as well, another little stat that I did have is that Asterisk have trailed once this entire tournament. They were down 2-0. The end result of that map was 13-2. They literally they lost a pistol round. They went down in rounds, and then they just took over the game, and they have not trailed in a single map since. So they are looking so dominant at the moment, and it's pretty clear to say they definitely will be favorites to take the series. But obviously, you take your opponent's map, they can easily take yours back, so it is not over yet.
Yeah, map 2 going to be Abyss as well, a map that has, at least historically, in the last few games that I've seen some pretty big comebacks and stuff. So a map that you can never really get comfortable on, I would say. That said, it's also a map that has looked increasingly dynamic in terms of the team comps that we're seeing and everything. So I'm excited to see what both these teams are going to be cooking up. It doesn't seem like the double duelist worked the way it was intended on this particular map, or more than that, it seemed like Team Asterisk were consistently ready for the punish. You could see Lil Boy lurking in those attacking grounds, able to consistently find at least 1 or 2 picks before going down and taking that additional map control. So yeah, I feel like on a map like Abyss, it's going to be even more important, especially with the map changes that hit that last patch.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, that is going to be something that these teams will have to adapt to. And I mean, hey, in a semi-final, anything can happen, as we know. But I do agree with your point about the map control too. That mid-rounding that was coming out there, I do think Team EXO were just a little bit slow to make decisions, and that 1 or 2 seconds is really the difference between being picked off and red. So that is going to be the, that was kind of the difference there. So on Abyss, obviously, it's going to be a new map. The team's going to have to regroup and just trust their calls, trust their decision making, because, like I said, it was just this difference in the speed of reacting. We could see what was happening. Players were trying to go in towards A main or B main. They got a little bit bottlenecked by that Viper utility. Maybe they lost a pick or two, and then they paused and they didn't really explore the rest of the map. The defense started to fill in that backspace, and they really just got cornered each and every time. So really, really impressed here by Asterisk, I got to say, as we are seeing these replays. And I mean, look, this is one of these rounds that did go the way of Team EXO, and you could see the quick decision-making, right? That 2v2, they decided, let's go forward, let's isolate the player on the site, and then it was just played beautifully here by the Shadows. That was a little bit troll, but it got the job done with the clock in the end. But yeah, the decision-making, that was the critical part to their round wins. I want to see them come out on Abyss and just back themselves.
100%. I mean, you said it. You could always do, return the favor and steal away your opponent's map pick back. Really good gameplay overall, though, by Asterisk. Like you said, they look fully in control, and whether they can repeat that feat on Abyss is going to be the question to come through here, and to be seen if EXO can push us to that decider of Haven. That said, though, I mean, so far it does seem like they have been able to consistently win out these opening duels, and I think it's as much their individual positioning as it is their aim. So I feel like we didn't really get to see EXO at any point find the momentum, and yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see that if they're not in a dominant position, they kind of struggle to come back. So they got to deny Asterisk that early momentum. I feel like the timeout that they called as well around round 9 was just a little bit too late. If they had been like a couple of rounds ago, it might have done more help, I feel.
No, 100%. I would agree to that. I think, we saw them improve us at the timeout, right? They started to find that rhythm. And like I said, it was the double dive timing. I think that they were trying to go in with the Neon first, have the Waylay come over the top. I think the Waylay's going to go in first just simply because the Waylay's quicker, right? Using those dashes is going to get to the destination in time for the Neon to come around the corner. And once they did that in those final few rounds of the half, that's when we saw that success. And then unfortunately, they couldn't back it up with the pistol round. If they had, maybe we see a bit of momentum swing come through, but it just wasn't to be there. Asterisk, though, I mean, you got to take our hats off to them, right? They played phenomenal. Whether it was the Outlaw, whether it was the Odin, whether it was just simply a beautiful paranoia to come over the top and secure a few trades, every single one of these players were firing. They just simply were a unit. That's the best way to describe it. It was just a unit of defense. They could not be broken. And I mean, they absolutely deserve to win that first map. But if they want to be the ones who deserve to win the series, they got to keep that going.
100%. You got to keep the momentum up. Either way, though, I think that we have the stats ready from this game. So let's take a look at them before we push over to map number 2, which is going to be that Abyss. Looking at the stats here, firstly, you can see that we were talking about this a little bit as well in the post mapper. And we pointed out that it was Asterisk who were consistently finding those opening kills almost to the 2x counts, which is kind of insane. In terms of post plans, I mean, I think the problem was that in all of those defensive rounds, you weren't able to see EXO even get that spike down. The rounds that they did get down, they were able to win it out, but it's just not close enough.
Yeah, 100%. A couple clutches going either way as well. So, I mean, it wasn't really, big rounds being thrown or anything like that. Both teams, like we said, had their moments there. And I mean, look, a couple clutches, if you combine that with a few more trades and opening picks, maybe you see a more competitive map. But obviously, when you get 11 first bloods in a 17-round game, you're going to go on to win that 9 times out of 10, I reckon. So that is the story of map 1. Asterisk simply too critical. Team EXO back to the drawing board here, but they got to regroup quickly because, as we know, it is a best of 3 series. And they're playing for a spot at the grand final, right? They are playing for the big prizes. Mm-hmm. And if they want to get there, they have to just push this map away from their memory. Obviously, take some lessons from it, but they got to adapt for Abyss. That will be coming up as we do see the rest of the subrees here for the individuals. And it was Kibigen with that Odin, 25, 9, and 6 assists. Just absolutely destructive on the fade.
Yeah, I feel like you didn't even see half the people he ended up killing. It was between the Viper debuff and the Fate spam that just completely destroyed the HP pool there for the side of EXO. They just could not get in without paying in blood every time, and consistently contesting that mid as well just made it so difficult for them to go for any of those crunch plays that you came to see out of the Asterisk side on the attack. And I mean, yeah, just overall a big difference in the amount of damage. You can kind of see why it was Fates coming through on top for both of these teams, but at the end of it, it was just much more impactful performance from Kebujin. Yeah, I know people complain about the Odin, but I feel like if you can't fix it, start using it yourself. And Kebujin was a key exemplar of that right now. Either way, though, I mean, it's pretty clear who the MVP of this particular map is, but it is going to be exciting to see who did get that prize, and yeah, maybe get a couple more stats coming through. Either way, though, I mean, Kibujin just so impactful throughout this entire game, I would say.
Yeah, it was utility. I mean, 6 assists there as well with the fade. So it wasn't just spraying bullets, it was also using that fade. But as we can see, the MVP, 25 frags on the fade, 2.78 KD on the initiator is just disgusting. That's not including the assists. That is just a very, very clean game of Valorant coming out from the fade, and really was a catalyst. 3 first bloods as well. I'm pretty sure that all 3 of those would have been on the defense with that Odin.
Yeah.
And that is just the way to open up the game. So that is a dominant map 1 coming out here. Asterisk, as we can see, every single stat, any metric you want to measure it on, were the better team here on map 1. But they got to make sure that they are ready for map 2, because that will be coming up very, very shortly.
Yep. Before we head into map 2, though, I mean, for Abyss, we talked a little bit about the importance for the side of EXO to get like a good opening start, because or they have to just go back to the drawing board, regroup, and figure out how they come back in these deficits, because they can't let the game run away with them. Either way, though, do join the giveaway. If you scan the QR code, you have a chance to win some free merch. So I don't know about you, but I always like getting free stuff, whether it is going to be the arm sleeve or the mouse or whatever. Either way, though, we're going to be coming back with map number 2 in the semifinal. But before that, we're going to be taking a short break. So we'll see you on the other side.
When you've played FPS as much as we have,
you have tried every mouse, every shape.
And we know shape matter.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Pulsar X Waimers Showdown here. I'm still Zach, joined by K-Man, and we just saw a very fast map one come through with Asterisk winning Corrode 13-4, if I'm not wrong. Very, very dominant victory throughout the game. Before we head into map number 2 here, which is going to be their own map pick of Abyss, just a couple of announcements. You can join the giveaway here. I think the QR code is being shown on the side. You have a chance to win a sleeve or a mouse pad or a mouse by itself. Just a reminder that the prize pool is also sponsored by Pulsar and Waimers here. You will be getting your hands on a full kit of a mouse pad, a keyboard, and a mouse if you're the winning team. And the runner-up team gets themselves the mouse to boot each. Apart from that, the MVP will also get a special keyboard exclusive edition here coming in from Pulsar. So yeah, just go ahead. Whether you're watching or whether you're playing, there's a lot to play for here. But now map 2 Abyss, we talked a lot about both teams and their playstyles in map number 1 came on. So what do you think we're going to be seeing on map number 2? Because I think Agent Select is ready.
Yeah, look, it's going to be interesting to see what they come out with here. Obviously, we did see a big clash of 2 different playstyles on the Agents here. In terms of Abyss, it is one of those maps where you do have to play a little bit more of that push-pull style, but we are going to see EXO continue to go with their double duelist approach here. As we can see Hellboy on that waylay yet again. Obviously an interesting agent. I've got to say, with what we saw there on that first map of Corrode, they have to make sure early on especially they get their timing right on their dive with this double duelist lineup.
Yeah, timing is everything, and the rounds that they won, the coordination was, I think, one of the main difference makers here. That's looking at the comp coming in, it's once again the double controller. This time though, it's going to be the Harbor. And it's kind of interesting with it because I feel like after the patch change, Harbor has actually gotten a bit worse with the lack of access to those cascades. But I think in combination with the Vice, perhaps that's going to mean that there's a lot of defensive utility available. And I think Caramel was constantly a menace on that previous map as well on the same agent. So I feel like, yeah, EXO definitely going to have to be careful. Their opponents pick this map. We don't know what nasty surprises they have in store for them. And hopefully they've got a strategy of their own.
I mean, yeah, you were obviously mentioning the Harbor did get that rework, and look, it's arguable to say whether or not he's better or worse. I think it certainly has challenged players to sort of change the way you play when you're picking Harbor, right? There's definitely a different win condition going around. Obviously, that high tide is just a full commit now. There's no cooldown on that wall. You only get one per round, and you just got to use it and execute with it. As we are going to see EXO, they are going to do it as usual. They go very quick in towards the B side, but it will be Karim again to shut them down.
Yeah, Shazul chiming in with one of their own, and once again, it's a repeat of that previous map, an early 3v5 here at high tide, making it even more difficult for them to find any kind of angle. The Cove as well to make things more challenging, just consistently cutting off the side of the map. Savage Yoda now caught in the corner. A push as well coming through here by Caramel, looking for that second kill right now. As soon as this Cove breaks, it might be another. But for now, it's just the spike here. Sungrub in a 1v5, or rather 2v5. Make that a 1v5 now, as it's just going to be Alpha Warrior left to spike in control of his enemies. And yeah, it's just going to be very difficult to find their way back in the round, especially with this untrued Vice wall. Blank, when everybody's blank, what do you do? They caught out by the Harbor, and a flawless round to open up here for Asterisk. All right.
Yeah, flawless is indeed the word to use there. Great side hold there on the B side of Abyss, which traditionally is very hard to lock down, but the Vice obviously able to use those thorns and just completely stall out an attack is such a good agent to use on this map. And we are going to see again the opening frags going the way of Asterisk. So that is a little bit worrying to see a very similar start here on Abyss to what we saw on Corrode, but we just got to see whether or not they do have another answer. It looks like it will be another B-side approach here, and this time it is just going to be the Vice left on their own, only with the Ghost as well, so there's definitely a possibility of a spike plan here.
Oh my god, they isolated Fire and Caramel with it out. They need to reposition as well. Gets their way onto site. Nice high angle here. The paranoia doesn't connect, and it's actually going to be looking at that crossfire to jump down on. Only one player lost in Caramel, alive until the end. A 3k to boot, really charging up that steel garden here. And almost flawless round to come through here for the side of Asterisk. That means Caramel is going to have a lot of money to buy a weapon possibly for this next round, making it even more difficult. So far, this side has been impossible for them to get into one with the combat and combining ability of the Harbor and the Vice.
if I can be brutally honest here, I'm not too sure what the strategy was there with Power using the decoy to come through the fake out clone to trip the wall and then just solo gate crashing into the site as well and getting isolated there again. Just a bit of a solo play, and as we did see, got isolated. Karam again is putting on a clinic here as we are seeing a third B side execute coming out here. It looks like the dive is going to beat down a lot more utility, and now they're going to slow things up and try to approach the site together. This could be a little bit better here for the attackers, but we can see another pick going the way of the defense early.
Early rotation as well. The elevated angle is really being used here to the advantage of Asterisk.
One enemy remaining.
Completely picking apart this attack. A second flawless round of the 3 rounds played at Asterisk. Able to pick up upgrades for free as well. Just absolute domination, and EXO once again just left trailing behind, losing that full buy, and economy broken. Just not a good start.
The word I want to use for what I'm saying here is frustration. It looks like there's still maybe a little bit of that mental tilt of that previous map of things not going their way. They're just rushing in, not playing patient, and there's no respect for the Vice, right? Like, there is absolutely no sort of second thought in towards the Vines, in towards that stalling power that Sentinel has. They're really just trying to deadfall in towards different areas. We're going to see them finally approach somewhere else on the map, in towards the middle here, but again, it is going to be Asterisk to open things up with some sharp shooting.
Early position by the Harbor as well. And on the opposite side, it's the Outlaw to break out and cause some mayhem. Sunkram finally able to find trades.
One
Will
enemy
deny a
remaining.
second flawless, but yeah, the fight drop, isolated fight, and the Guardian come through for Kibo at the end. 4 players left alive. Economy really starting to flourish here for the Asterisk side, and yeah, I wonder if we're going to be seeing an operator anytime soon. It doesn't seem like they need it, but X finally going to have the money for full armor and a full buy here. No ultimates have charged up either, so that's very unfortunate for them.
Yeah, it's been a very, very quick first 4 rounds here. Asterisk are playing very nicely here, and here we go, EXO. They are playing a bit more of a spread default here. I kind of like this approach. Just go a little bit slow, poke and prod, see what you can find here, because obviously one thing you could argue they have conditioned their opponents to is those fast rotates, right? They want to try and make sure that they are stopping the flood of this double duelist approach. This is a much slower round here. The drone is getting a lot of information and pressure towards A, and that is leading to a B aggression here. We can see Team EXO punish that push out, and that is a much better start here for the attack.
That's the operator gun as well, and I think they're aware of it. Could be a call to just go for an execute on this B side. The problem is this is the side that they've struggled with, thanks to that Vice utility just cutting apart the cohesion in this attack. They haven't really tried to go for a B split yet, and it still seems like resources are being concentrated by Asterisk onto this A side with 2 players holding it down. It's all going to fall onto Caramel's shoulders here. And he does have the Steel Garden available to try and deny at a quick push through. Has to be able to get the headshot though. Twice connecting. Here comes the Saturate. Able to get the first isolated fight, but the rest of the team actually going to be going down right now. Doing his best though to try and anchor down the site again, playing with the elevation. 7 bullets in
30
hand.
seconds
Has
left.
to be able to find the repeat, but just caught in the wrong angle. Unfortunately, some numbers in favor of EXO. Finally, and they get this spike down.
Last player
Awkward retake
standing.
situation. Timing's not exactly in Asper's favor this time, and yeah, Little Boy goes down to 4 players alive at a pretty convincing round coming out of EXO.
That is a much better round indeed. I love the way that they played the map there, just being patient, push and pull strategy, baiting out the overextension, and that is going to be their first round on the board. We do now have a game in our hands. 4-1, the lead isn't too drastic or anything like that. They have a chance to build into this game now. A much better round from Team EXO. We'll see whether or not they can find some more success off of it, as we do see them being able to buy up here, but another operator coming out for the defense. So if they do lose this round here and lose the op, it is going to absolutely break their economy. It's a crucial round for both sides.
From the offense goes unpunished. Once again, it's a quick attempt at an execute here towards this site, but with the op having shut down mid, that'll make it much more easier for these defenders to have that corridor for the rotation if necessary. Bit of a fake towards A, but it doesn't seem like Asterisk are really full by it, and that they have that numbers advantage. Can't afford to pay a little bit more proactive here, a little bit more defensive, holding the lane down. Information garnered about mid as well, so you can see the slow drift of these players from Asterisk towards this B side.
Yeah, but it's making them a little bit concerned about A because the drone did spot that clone, but because it was a clone, they were wondering whether or not they have pivoted towards the A side. That isn't going to be the case, as we are going to see Power open things up there with a nice opener, making it a 4v4. Spike plant will go down, and this is a real chance for the attack to secure a second.
Sleep, brother.
They also goes to the pink off the back of it, but still Yash able to find that kill. Shock Dart finds the trade though, 2v3, Asterisk with the advantage still, but Stronger making it an even situation. Just the crossfire right now that they have to break apart here. JCP to come to a Timberton though, looking to try and stick to the fuse here. Half of it comes through, it's being stuck all the way right now, and the coach just lets him get it done. There's the Harbor for the win, and Asterisk somehow keeping things alive here.
It really is just their day at the moment. That is just the way to explain that. The Spike being stuck in a 2v2. It's an absolute cardinal sin here. Just unable to deny that defuse. Stuck all the way. Not quite planted for the player on danger. And that is going to be a brutal round loss. 5-1 now the score. Asterisk. They are... I mean, they're just laughing at this point. They can do no wrong at the moment. They have such a healthy lead. But Team XO, I've got to say, they're definitely more competitive in this map.
Yeah, marginally. Here we go. The aggression coming through. Yash gonna barely get away by the skin of his teeth here.
Silence.
Towards the main, it is Operator pushing through. Ryzen the one this time to start things out. Lil Boy though denying the power of that Toru ult, denying that per kill to come through, and just you know, showcasing that awareness that once again gives Asterisk this huge numbers advantage. 4 ultimates available for them as well. Even though the Yoru might not have the HP, they still do have that dimensional drift for some additional information. And Caramel empowered now to play a little bit aggressive towards this main angle, gets that information, going to just hunker down on the side, making them being able to just hold onto the side by themselves, especially with the high tide kicking in as well to make things more difficult.
So much composure here on this Vise as well. Just playing patiently, trusting the utility to do the job as the team is able to rotate over potentially. But Alpha Warrior will take down Lil Boy. That does make things a little bit more complicated as that second smoke is going to go down for now. Sangram unable to take down Karam. In fact, nobody's able to shoot it for quite some time. Alpha Warrior will at least trade out eventually, but a 1v2 scenario here. 20 seconds on the clock. The dimensional drift is going to get all the information as well, and that is going to make things extremely difficult for this clutch.
Spike planted.
Is able to get the spike down, does have the ultimate as well, but just no information as to where both of these players are. Is able to reposition though. That is absolutely huge right now, and the flash misses, but looking in the wrong spot. It is going to be Asterisk to come out on top, and Ryzen to be able to, you know, not just get the defuse, but possibly pick up that op again as well. So overall, a very successful round here for the side of Asterisk. They're able to keep their Sova ults good. So yeah, at least for XO, the bright side is they didn't use the Vise ult in that round. But I don't know how much of an economy they have left.
Yeah, 6-1 now the score. We're seeing a very similar pattern to what we saw on map number 1. When Asterisk get a lead, they do not let it go. They don't even let their opponents close. They are just playing very nicely here on defense yet again, shutting out their opponents time and time again. I mean, I'm going to see a big change up here from Team XO. A 5-player stack in towards A main. This is definitely looking a lot more like a change of pace here for the defense to deal with. We'll see whether or not they're up to the task.
Actually, he cut out though. Yash able to find that kill, and I mean, sure, you're gonna have a solo that's coming through. He's able to get 2 kills though. Gets the trade back, and XO once again have the numbers. Little bit of playing behind his own smoke will be a difference maker here, especially with this Harbor ult connecting. Finger in close range, so just doing too much damage, and it is gonna be a 1v3 at the end of it. Caramel has been incredible.
One enemy remaining.
We're trying to find the timing here on the peak. Gets the first, gets the second as well. A 7th round for Asterisk, and I mean, you said it, everything that seems to go wrong for XO is completely going right here for Asterisk. Just completely clean trades.
One enemy remaining.
Caramel in the end hits that first one for free and hits the shot on the second. Ooh, that's painful if you're an
One enemy remaining.
That is just an absolute clinic here by the Sentinel for Asterisk. Karama 13-4, if you don't mind, on the Senti, fragging out, holding down sights and clutching rounds. That is beautiful. I gotta say, XO, I didn't mind that round there on the eco. Make it a bit frantic, get up in the face. It was gonna always be a scrappy fight. Full side control, but it doesn't go their way. But moving on to the current round, and it's the same old story. A first blood going the way of the defense, and there is no trade to be seen.
No trade indeed, and I think, yep, we're back right now. They have taken mid control, but at what price is the question? Asterisk happy to fall back and let their opponents have it. Sangram looking to possibly go in for this B site hit. Does have the paranoia at the brink. He has been spotted out though, and Caramel actually gonna get spammed down to 10 HP, but still gets that first opening kill. Now in the corner, Sangram trying to come in for the trade here. Numbers in favor of Asterisk, although Caramel finally gonna get crunched down upon here. Alpha Warrior shut down by the Outlaw, does a little bit of chip damage, and EXO are gonna be able to get the spike down at the very least, but their Omen with very low HP, and now the players from Asterisk surrounding them on all sides. The flank coming in as well. Timing really gonna be everything here for EXO to see if they can find out this crucial round. Paranoia comes through. Little Boy's position gonna be noted right now, and Sangram has to be able to find the kill. I don't know if he was spotted in this corner. Timing on the peak gonna be everything to get that first kill right now. The second to come to boot as well, and now it is just the 1v2. Outlaw in hand, clock ticking. I don't think there's going to be time for Risen to be able to get this round through. At least the spike is on the opposite side. Good try to stick half the spike, but Sungrove with a huge 3K going to be able to make this 50 work for EXO. And again, just denying things for Asterisk.
Not ready yet.
Yeah, that's a little amount of map control being taken there. They're just able to get up in the face of their opponents and crunch on the B site there. So finally, they found the answer to taking down the Vice. You just got to throw 4 bodies at them, and that'll get all the world of good. But that is a beautiful 3K as well. Comes through from Sangram, it has to be said. And it's 7-2. It's still a 5-round deficit, but you just get the feeling that EXO aren't giving up just yet.
Still a bit close for comfort, but yeah, at the end, they seem to be able to figure things out despite losing that player early on here. So yeah, a little bit of a better round coming in for EXO. Asterisk, for once, going to be having an economic deficit here, kind of figuring out what they want to buy. Not the greatest money in the bank, so yeah, just a save to come through. They do have one sheriff in hand, but yeah, for once, the numbers and the ultimates are both in favor here for EXO, a chance for them to kind of steal back the momentum.
It looks like there is a bit of a tech pause coming out here. It is Team Asterisk who have called that tech pause, so we'll be back in as soon as the problem is resolved. But yeah, this is a really, really interesting round now, because despite having a 7-1 lead just in the round prior, the entire economy has been broken here for Asterisk, as it looks like hopefully those tech issues have been resolved. It looks like everyone is hopping around now, so we'll see, as it looks like we are getting back into the match. This is a thrifty round now, Asterisk. This is a very, very critical one. If they're able to at least do some economic damage, at least keep EXO in check, there's certainly a chance of setting themselves up nicely for the rest of the half. But for EXO, they've got to keep this clean.
Also clean indeed. The Bucky in the corner tries to find that opening pick, but Savage Yoda the one to find that opening instead as Ryzen goes down. Still, the both available. Division could try and find the timing in the corner. But yeah, despite fighting the Dink, it is the better armor and better members to come out on top. 2 players left alive, but this time they are on the Asterisk side, and that's so with the numbers advantage are able to close things out. Just Yoshi left right now. 1v5 vision noted. Does get a lot of damage down. 3 of the players incredibly low here, but EXO, but they managed to find a flawless, which is going to do wonders for their economy and gets them with more rounds than they found in the entire half.
Now we wait.
Well, said they needed to keep it clean. That's exactly what they did. 7-3 here, and as you say, their economy looking pretty healthy here for the last couple of rounds in the half. Still crucial they can at least find one more, right? 8-4, it's a winnable scenario. Obviously, the 9-3, we always talk about the curse and whatnot, but in this situation, you've got to keep the momentum going. They've got back-to-back round wins. If they can get a third on the board, you can just start to feel this semi-final starting to shift.
It's all a question of momentum, and right now, at least, it's been paused heavily for Team Asterisk right now. They do still have a buy available for this round, so could try to stall EXO's attempt at making the scoreline look a little bit more even. Just going for the jump peak, so able to spot out at least one player. Little Boy playing at a new angle this time. This elevated angle has been checked before. Not sure if it's a clone or not, as it's just going to be sound made. Seems like a fake ploy, though, as the rest of EXO rotate back here. And Ryzen should be hearing all this.
I have to say, I'm very, very intrigued as to what is going to happen in this round, because that fake out actually got some vital information. There was no shear trigger. There was no Vi's utility whatsoever being popped. So that is information here for the attackers. The Sentinel is playing towards the A side, and they've identified it here. This is a great call to re-explore back in towards B. They're going to be aware there's probably a heavier stack, but there's not going to be the utility factor here for them to deal with, as we are going to see 30 seconds on the clock. They've got to go in, and they're going to take this B side.
30 seconds left.
Problem is there's so many players left right now to try and hunker down here. Has to win out the duel. But now these fights are going the way of EXO right now. Finally, the trade comes through, but it's still going to be Asterisk with the numbers advantage. Little Boy on site. He's such a menace right now. 2 HP and still able to find a kill. Carmel jumping in as well. And yeah, just no time on the clock. They have to go in. A really good rotation coming through at the end. And of course, clinical display coming out of Little Boy here on the Omen. 3 kills in the round. Yeah, Asterisk continue mocking their opponents.
Yeah, I mean, look, the new changes on Abyss we were talking about, right? That box towards backside works a treat for the defense. I still think that was the right call to re-explore in towards that B side. They just couldn't isolate the picks there around that box, and it was just their undoing. They're a big 3K to come through as well. Lil Boy getting a bit of a highlight reel for themselves, as it looks like potentially have another pause. I'm not too sure. The timer is paused at the moment, but heading into this last round of the half, we can see both teams, they pretty much are using every last credit here, so I guess it's a good time to take that break, as both teams have completely depleted their economy. But that's a huge round for the defense, just to stop that momentum to come through here. It looks like it is Team EXO this time calling the tech pause, so everyone's having a bit of technical issues. I mean, it was my camera to start things off as well, but we've fixed that, so yeah, it's all looking a little bit up in the air here, but I gotta be honest here, Zach. 8-3, it doesn't feel like an 8-3 game. It feels a bit closer than that.
I think the rounds have definitely been a lot closer especially after that first 4-0 start. Yeah, for the side of EXO, they've made things look a little bit more competitive. And yeah, I mean, you pointed it out. Huge swing round to come in this one. Even if neither team has money, they definitely have the economy in terms of those ultimates. Both sides with the Steel Garden. You also have that combination of the Sova and the Waylay ult if you can get a little bit of information from the Omen. So yeah, a lot left to play for here. Getting another 9-3 lead would definitely put things in Asterisk's court. The thing is that this is also them still on the defensive side, and they've made things so difficult on attack, especially with the constant lurks that we've seen coming in from Lil Boy on the previous map as well. It's going to be very difficult for this composition from EXO compared to the composition from Asterisk, having only that single controller and Vice to maintain the same level of assertive map control that we've seen coming in from the Asterisk side.
Yeah, I mean, you do bring up their attack side, right? And that is something that is absolutely a factor. Just a quick stat for you guys. Across the 3 matches they played leading to this semi-final, they had 36 total rounds on attack across the 3 maps. They've had 3 halves of attack. They have 27 round wins and 9 round losses. So their attack is absolutely phenomenal. It is a massive factor here. And I suppose something I kind of overlooked looking at this scoreline of potentially 8-4 at worst for them. I mean, they're going to be sitting pretty. They're going to be feeling very, very confident. And on the other side of things, I mean, Team EXO, they've been solid on both sides. I'd say their attack, you know, they've won more rounds on attack in total, but it's a very similar in terms of their win-loss differential for attack and defense. They've simply just been the better side in their 3 games. But Asterisk, it is very clear they love to attack, and we are going to see that very, very shortly. Like we said, we are currently in attack pause here, so apologies for the small delay. As soon as the players are back in and ready to go, we are going to get into round number 12. But yeah, this is set up definitely in Asterisk's favor.
100%. And Asterisk, they have shown that they're fully capable of taking that initial advantage. and running away with it. I think I also like the way that they pilot this team comp more. I mean, they're not afraid to use that harbor utility very early on, and Caramel in particular has just been such a menace on not just the previous map, but also this one. Literally such a consistent thorn in the side of EXO, consistently getting like 2 or even 3 kills before being shut down. And especially with EXO running down the clock so much, so many of these rounds, they've been just completely unable to hold down the forts or just take any kind of space at all without just paying the price in too many lives. And yeah, we've seen what happens once Asterisk gets that early advantage. We saw in the previous map as well, just the difference in the first bloods. And this map as well, it seems to be the case with consistently Yush finding kills down towards mid or Caramel just shutting down executes. It's been very dominant from this Asterisk side.
100%. And I mean, look, you're mentioning the Yoru as well, right? Yoru's getting first bloods are the worst thing to deal with because as soon as that gate crush comes through, the player is just gone and you're down a number. So the Yoru has been excellent here, but yeah, the Sentinel definitely being the standout player at the moment. Caramel has just been on another level that EXO just haven't been able to break at the moment, but who knows here, this little break? I mean, we've seen the timeouts do wonders for EXO, so maybe this little extended tech pause is going to be able to let them settle the nerves here and just focus up. Surely they're going to have an execute cooked up with 4 ultimates, as we can imagine. On the other hand, though, the defense, they've got 4 of their own to retake if they do end up losing a site. So this is poised for a very, very big final round of the half.
Which way it will lean could very well decide the fate of the series as well, whether or not we'll be having a map 3. And yeah, very explosive round definitely to pop up here. That said, I mean, when it comes to Abyss in particular, we have seen a lot of comebacks before in a lot of different tournaments. So yeah, definitely could be a case of EXO being able to find this particular round and try to use that as a way to snowball back into it, because at no point in the series have they had the lead or any kind of advantage. And yeah, the sooner they can actually find that to be the case, the easier it might be for them to get back into this, because definitely so far it seems like mentally Asterisk are the one who have been prepared.
Yeah, for sure. They just have had the read and they have been clinical, and I mean, they're justifying all the stats we were talking about, right? They're justifying this win-loss record. They're justifying the fact that they are the most dominant team in this competition as it stands currently, and they are just 5 rounds away from punching their ticket into the grand final. That is a huge, huge step forward for them. But will this tech pause? I mean, we always talk about drama in finals, right? This is definitely one of those moments of high drama. An extended break here. You're thinking, how close are we to getting to this grand final? Does that adrenaline turn to nerves? That is going to be the question here. Do they have the experience and composure to steady the ship and just guide themselves home to a win? Or do EXO go, okay, guys, we've got a full mental reset here. Can we just chill, relax? Looks like there's a few smiles here on the face cams as well. So maybe, you know, they're able to pick the vibes up a little bit with this break and they can get themselves into the game. This is going to be an extremely interesting passage of play coming out of this timeout.
What outcome it will have remains to yet be seen here. But yeah, I think for now at least we're going to be just cutting to a little bit of a replay as we try to protect their shoes here. I mean, so far it's just been the Asterisk show.
One enemy
been pretty dominant coming out of them in most of these rounds, especially the rotations as well. And there's just been no way for EXO to take advantage of it, except for the few rounds where, for example, this one where Hunter was able to find a couple of good positions and capitalize off the back of it. Yeah, that said, it's just been
one enemy remaining.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we are just seeing how good the defense has been, the trading and everything. I mean, you even look at the back of that, you know, that defuse in the 2v2, right? Little moments like that, always about moments in a finals game. And they are certainly being dominated at the moment by this defense. 8-3 is currently the score. We are just getting word that there is a bit of a restart of a PC happening. Looks like we are having a short break in the action. As soon as they are back in, we will be getting into the action
one enemy remaining
as soon as possible, because I don't know about you, Zach, but I want to cast more VALORANT.
Yeah, 100%. I want to see where this series is going and who is going to be the team going first to that grand final. of this event.
Spike
I do
down,
hope
B.
that this hasn't slowed down Asterisk momentum too much. I don't know which side is having issues,
One enemy
but
remaining.
I do think that for the side of Asterisk in particular, with them being able to find such a proactive early lead, it's definitely going to be a bit of a momentum breaker for them. That's it. So also, I think they did win the previous round, so it's also going to make things more complicated for them heading into this particular one. Either way, though, I mean, 8-2 start, possible 9-3 scoreline, or 8-4. It remains to be seen which team is going to come out on top after this last round in the half. And I mean, we talked about it before, XO. They haven't been able to really put a stop to Asterisk's attack on that previous map of Corrode. Hopefully they're able to do a better job, but this is Asterisk's map pick. And so far, at least, they seem like they're more than prepared for every map that they've been playing in this tournament so far.
Yeah, 100% here. So, I mean, hopefully approach the restart of this match. It looks like we are getting back into the lobby here at the moment. The countdown is going down, which is always a great sign. And it looks like we are heading into the round at number 12. And here we go. Okay, what has been cooked up by both these sides? The IGLs have had a little bit of an extended time to come up with a plan here. 8 ultimates online, and the gun barrel is spotted here by Yash. This should be a guaranteed first blood to power, and it will be.
Now, Little Boy continues to hold down the fort aggressively. It's spotted out this time, though. Forced to fall back here, but still hard anchoring down the side as the rest of the team, they continue to default here, looking for a possible early advantage. I think that the Yoru was able to TP back at least with the corpse, so I don't think the gun was dropped there, because I saw something towards CT. Hellboy is still working on this ace site as well. Main control garnered, but they haven't been able to get their way onto site. And you still have Caramel, who's been a spoil sport before. This time, though, they've got the Yoru on the side here. They spot out his presence, and oh yeah, that's a beautiful ult to connect. Power able to take full advantage of it and actually get down there. Low boy, though, denies further damage, but oh, that's a one-leg thing. I think it's just going to be Little Boy taken down to a single sliver of HP.
3v4 is the scenario here. Big retake needed to come out. Team EXO in full control of the site. They still have that Hunter's Fury as well, played all the way back in their own spawn. They are going to be looking to stall as long as possible. Hellboy, excellent 2Bs there over towards backside. And Lil Boy, 5 HP, will be good for the 1. We'll see whether or not any more can come out from it, but it looks like this is going to be the 4th round for EXO.
Nowhere to run!
Yeah, just no way to be able to close it out there. Silva ult as well, additional backup here. And EXO, they do much better than the previous map. Not only keeping around one, but also finding an additional 1 8-4 advantage still in favor of Asterisk, though, and now they're going to be the ones on this attacking side, a side that they have proven that they are very willing to go aggressive and go head-to-head with this double duelist comp on. I mean, if EXO, though, if they can get themselves this pistol round, is going to do wonders for them by keeping the scoreline much more even, I would say.
Well, I think it's kept the game alive winning that round, right? It's kept them into this. If they can get this pistol, as you say, they can easily try to snowball in towards a lead. But that 12th round was absolutely huge and critical. And I love the combination there, saving the Hunter's Fury. Instead, just using that Waylay ultimate to come through with the Dimensional Drift. And it was an easy cleanup on the buy. So that is an 8-4 scoreline here. Asterisk still very much in control on the scoreboard, but they definitely need to try and wrestle that momentum back. The B side under big threat. We'll see if Alpha Warrior is able to repeat the deeds done by their opposing buys here.
Already opening conversations seem to be going in favor of EXO here as Hellboy finds 3. EXO now with the numbers lead here. Savage Yoda with the Sheriff looking to do a little bit more damage. Catches out Risen. Now falling back to try and get a possible rotation over Power as well, leaning in from the CT. The position of this player completely unknown though. Beautiful shot from Ryzen to come through. Caramel hungry for a little bit more and Tungam on the flank to boot. So yeah, it's all a question of timing right now. Is Power gonna expect this double peek coming in from CT? Is the question. Seems like they're going back towards site though when Ryzen finds another one. Power now in a 1v2. Here's this player going back towards site.
You're gonna see
Caramel
my face right
is there
now.
for the cover. And as Asterisk, they not only win this attacking round, they also get this plant down, so even more money for them in the next one.
That is absolutely ridiculous there. The Sova coming up trumps and bailing out Asterisk to take another pistol. 9-4. That is a critical round to win, not just in terms of obviously having the money here, but the momentum swing, right? I mean, Karami and Yash were absolutely fragging out. Now it was up to the Sova, and they get the job done yet again. Asterisk are just firing on all cylinders here, and EXO a much more competitive pistol round, but unable to convert. 9-4 now, and it's going to be a little bit of an investment here into this round. They've got to at least try to get 3 picks.
Comes a spam through already. Yeah, Sungrim just forced to fall victim. You have power in the corner as well. Misses the jump though. At least able to TP away, but yeah, that's one less defender on the side. Savage Yoda forced to play aggressive right now. Just able to find this first kill, but the run gun just too strong against the Sheriff. And so much control in this post-plant. Gardner power at least able to get the chip damage. Tries to get a flick shot onto Yash, but forced to fall back once again. Reboot with the team, with their teammates.
Player standing.
So aggressive coming in from Asterisk. At least Alpha Warrior able to find one kill, but surrounded on all sides by enemies here. As once again, Asterisk, they convert their anti-eco. Keep 4 of the weapons forward, so it's still going to be a pretty nice bonus, especially since they saved that Vandal.
Yeah, 10-4 is the score right now, and this is going to be a very difficult comeback. As you said, this map, it is known for its comebacks, you know, shout out to the VCT Grand Final, obviously. It's Fnatic's big comeback, but 10-4, look, it's not as big of a deficit. It is round by round here now for EXO, right? It's a bit of a reset. They didn't fully invest again. They have Guardians, they have Vandals here to try and counter on this anti-bonus. But I'll tell you what, if they lose here, I'm not too confident in them being able to claw it back. This is really the round where they can set themselves up for a comeback.
Fun fact, so far, it seems like every single bonus round that Asterisk have played, they have been able to win it out. So if they, let's see if they can go 4-for-4 in that metric. Alpha Warrior now going to be Soul Sentinel on the side to try and anchor down. No sound being made by Asterisk quite yet, although here comes that first peek here. The flash connects the boot, but the TP in front, the flash is perfect, and yeah, you're just surrounded on all sides by enemies. Right now, the shear as well to make things worse, just a barrage of Asterisk players to come through, and no way that you're going to be able to anchor down the side. 2 huge openings for Asterisk, and they're able to get the spike down in this bonus. Not really a bonus anymore, as everybody is able to pick up upgrades, and at least 3 of them have rifles to boot. EXO, they have to be able to find an opening kill pretty soon here, or else just go in for the save, because they cannot afford to lose both the guns and not win out anything. Angle just being so aggressively held right now. Credible finds the first kill. Yash taking the space off of it. 4 players right now get the first kill, and now Savage Yoda just stuck inside his harbor pool, looking to find some kind of damage. At least he's able to find 1 kill. Tonight's the flawless, but it's a bittersweet victory, as Asterisk they get 11, 2 rounds away from 2-0ing their opponents and moving on to that grand final.
No, you are not hearing a repeating audio. It was another 3v5. It sounds like we're just saying the same thing over and over again, but Asterisk just keep finding the first pick and the trade doesn't come through. It's just happening over and over again. I gotta say, Alpha Warrior, absolutely nothing you can do there. I mean, the shear was kind of just delaying the inevitable, just gave a few more seconds of the Vice to live, but completely surrounded. As you said, that flash timing was perfect to come out on the entry. And the defense unable to hold the B side. 11-4, and I mean, this is absolutely devastating. Contest in towards a main, but again, Asterisk win it out, and it is 2 picks to go the way of the attack.
Very nice shot there. 3 for Yash already though. Looking for a little bit more. Still alive, has a chance for the ace, and yeah, at least they're able to clear out the side completely off the back of that utility coming through from the harbor. Get the spike down, and once again, it's a 4v2 this time. Not even a 5v3, even worse. And EXO, yeah, not the greatest guns as is. They have so much territory they need to reclear, and Purple already playing aggressive. Just baiting though, as Yash finds the ace here and gets his team to match point. Just a very clean round coming in from Asterisk, and their utility just making things so oppressive right now. No way, no drinks coming either, as Yash found kill after kill in main. That's just impressive.
Yeah, 3 players to swing and not find a pick. It's just devastating there, and I mean, look, to be fair, that's probably the one thing that was missing. You know, everything was going right from Asterisk. We hadn't seen an ace yet, so I guess they're just ticking things off at this point. It's a bit of an achievement sort of hunting at the moment here for the attack, but 12-4. I mean, this is just next level domination in a semi-final as well. Top teams here clashing, but it just seems like Asterisk has their number, as we've been saying. So you aren't going to see the gate crash come through. Dimensional drift. It is a crunch on this B site yet again. Can EXO live up to this test?
Oh, it seems almost impossible. Here comes the first one. Yashi able to find it with the Yoru util. Here comes the Arbor util too. At least 2 players now to go for the double peek, but it's just Savage Yoda to find just 1 kill. 3v2 numbers in favor of Asterisk once again. The closest that it's ever been though. It's been a 5v3 and a 4v2. This time things looking a little bit more possible here. But EXO, once again, just so much space to re-clear, and they have to do it together right now. At least they've got a smoke to try and approach site with, but the double smoke's coming in. Just they're forced to take a bad peek. They try to go in for the double peek here, but they still have Arbor just available, and Little Boy there for 1 kill. 2v1 though. No time either. Has to go forward. It seems like Asterisk, they're going to be able to get it done unless there's a miracle to come in from the Omen right now. TPs his way onto the spike. Tries to stick to the fuse here, but yeah, just caught between a rock and a hard place. No real way to hold on to it. Yeah, I mean, at least you're going to be able to get the first kill, but you're going to have to stick to the fuse. There's just no way you're going to be able to do it. And Asterisk, they get the kill as well. Insult to injury. 13-4 on both maps. They dominate their way and get their way to that grand final.
That is a clinical final victory to come through here. Semi-final, I should say, for Asterisk. They do sweep it, as you say, back to back. 13-4 conversion. A little bit of a malfunction with that shorty. I think they attempted to reload that shorty about 4 times there. But in the end, it was Ryzen who was able to finish things off. Asterisk, just so clinical. I mean, there's really not much more we could say. We've kind of said everything that needed to be said here in the end. It was all EXO attempting to try and make a recovery on the back foot for this entire series, and they just never found a stronghold.
100%, yeah, it was just Asterisk getting off to those early starts. 8-0 on the first map, 6-0 on this one, I think, if I'm not wrong. And after that, just putting up very, very clean side holds, really good rotations as well. It seemed like throughout the series, it was EXO playing from the back foot in all ways possible, whether it was in terms of individual opening kills, whether it was in terms of just maintaining that map control that Asterisk were able to so convincingly find, whether they were on defense or attack. It felt like that double duelist never really had the chance to get off the ground at any point for this EXO squad, and the rounds that they won seemed to be more off of individual heroics than anything. So yeah, very nice try from them in a lot of these rounds, especially on this map number 2. Things did look a little bit closer in that first half, even if the rounds weren't exactly there being converted for EXO. But in the second half, it was just Asterisk looking so dominant. They even managed to find an ace for themselves today. So yeah, things looking good in terms of just heroics right now. But EXO, unfortunately, that's going to be it for their run in this tournament. Ouch.
Yeah, it is, you know, so close yet so far from that grand final. But I mean, you can't argue the better team won today, right? It was just so good to watch here. Asterisk work absolutely phenomenal, and their attack stats just keep getting better, as you said. 5-0 in that second half, and I mean, that takes them up to, it's something like an 80% win rate on attack at the moment, which is just diabolical. This team is so in sync. Their executes were so good, and we kind of saw just that extra layer on the executes, I think I kind of want to say, in that second half. You look at the way both Vice players were playing in that map. They were playing in similar positions here, as we do see the stats coming up here for the game. They were both playing in very similar positions. There was a little bit of utility to support the Vice, but the overwhelming utility and the extra layering, I think that extra flash coming through from Asterisk, just landing in the perfect spot every time, was the difference between them being able to hold the site and not. As we can see, a 12 out of, again, 17 rounds, first bloods going their way. It is just those opening picks. Never, ever let go of the advantage when they got them.
Yeah, I mean, I think that for EXO in a lot of their previous games, it was post plant that they really excelled on. But I think Asterisk realized, okay, if they can't get the spike down, what post plant do you have? And yeah, those early first kills really contributing to them being able to completely shut down EXO and deny them from even getting that side hold. Also, multiple clutches on this map from Asterisk, none for EXO. So yeah, just a little bit more confidence heading into this series after them being able to find that early lead on both of these maps so far. And I mean, similar statistic in terms of the ACS. It is just Asterisk coming out on top. They, of course, won those opening fights, so many 3v5s or whatever. Either way, though, I mean, I think the leaderboard is going to give us a better example of just how individually it was the team that came out on top for Asterisk. Just everybody doing way more damage. This map, it's Yash who's going to be the MVP. Last time I was Kibojin on the Fade. This time taking a little bit more of a break. Caramel and Yash, the ones to steal the show here. Both of them crossing that 300 ACS mark. And I mean, on Yoru, it's kind of expected, but I mean, Caramel just completely shutting down any take on any of the sites, just holding things down in a 1v3, just consistently buying time for rotations. Really well done.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, look, obviously Yash on the ACS is going to sort of take that top spot, but Karama, I've got to say, is my MVP of that game. Just as you said, the solo site holds on Abyss. It is something that is so difficult. I myself, as a Sentinel one trick, I know how hard it is to hold that B site. It is just a nightmare sometimes. The way it was done was absolutely perfect. It was so well played by the Vice. I think absolutely deserving a shout out there, but Yash as well. I mean, credit where it's due. 5 first bloods on the Euro. And I mean, that's 5 out of 12 for the team, right? Almost half the first bloods coming out of their MVP just shows how good and how much impact was had on that duelist.
Yeah, both these players putting their name in for a chance at that MVP of the tournament. Stats count from the quarterfinals after all. So yes, I think they just want to really shine a new keyboard, which is completely understandable. Either way, though, Yash on the Euro is so much control down on mid, consistently just walking down and creating a lot of pressure, just keeping EXO from finding any kind of crunch play through that mid angle. I don't think they were able to break through at all in that entire first half. So making things very difficult, I would say, for his opponents, and in that attacking side as well. Just so much utility being dumped alongside the harbor to be able to take that early space, just TPing in, being able to consistently find a huge kill on the opponent bias or site anchor. Yeah, just really well played by the side of Asterisk. That's the first semifinal over, though. Very dominant showing coming in from them. That makes Asterisk the first grand finalist as well of this tournament. Either way, though, I mean, we still have one more semifinal coming in tomorrow, and it's going to be very exciting to see how that grand final goes, though, with the standard that both of these teams have been demonstrating so far, and with 2 more teams ready to go.
Yep, 100%. I could not agree more. And, and as always, shout out to the sponsors of this tournament, the Pulsar and Waimers. Huge shout out to them, funding tournaments. It's always appreciated for the community, for the viewers, everybody. Everything gets put on. It is done off the backbone of just so many people in the background, and a lot of that support is going to come through. So massive shout out to the sponsors. And I mean, shout out to the players as well, right? I mean, it was an entertaining game. Yes, it was one-sided. Yeah, there were a few mistakes that we, were highlighting, but Asterisk, they put on a show. I mean, that was extremely entertaining from start to finish.
Yeah, especially, I think this was the most depressing round of the lot, just a ninja defuse under their opponent's nose. I feel like that round being won could have made the difference. I feel like a 7th high half, maybe there would have been a chance for recovery from the just consistent, relentless attack coming in from Asterisk. But I don't know about that, because you mentioned it, 4 out of 5 in the previous map, or rather 3 out of 4 in the previous map, 5 out of 6 in this one. Just very dominant attacking showing coming in from the side of Asterisk, and just no way for their opponents to really hold on. I feel like the double duelist comp ended up being more of a thorn in their side than something that really helped them out here, even though they were able to showcase a couple of rounds where it seemed possible. But yeah, Asterisk just insane in the clutch on this particular map. Yeah, overall, I mean, I think they deserve that. They proved that they deserve that grand final slot today.
100%, and they have put the competition on notice, saying, hey, listen, you put us on any map, we're going to go on attack. You can't stop us from being on that attack half, and we're coming for you. So that is definitely a big statement here in the semi-final. As we said, back-to-back 13-4. It was just an absolute clinic. Asterisk, simply too good for EXO, but that will wrap up the semi-final here. We have one more, as you said, Zach, to play tomorrow, I believe, before the grand final. So you guys will be able to watch and see who Asterisk will be taking on in that grand final. But yeah, that is it for tonight. The action, it was jam-packed. It was a bit of a quick one, but it was certainly entertaining, and I hope you guys enjoyed.
100%. Yeah, tomorrow it's gonna be It's Me Vico going up against GGEZ to see who will be facing Asterisk. Either way, though, that is gonna be it from us today, and we'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place for the for the semifinals too, but where we will see who will be joining Asterisk in that grand final. It is still me, Zach, joined by K-Man. So yeah, we'll be signing off for today, and thanks for watching, everyone.